Follow me. I'm going to answer your questions, check in the comments, and talk a little bit about myself in a bit more detail. So I thought I'd switch it up a little bit and talk a little bit about me being British and living in Jamaica for 13 years. One of the things that I wrote down before the live started was a question: what do you miss from the UK now that you live in Jamaica? And it was extremely difficult to answer that. And it was difficult because I had nothing to write. It took me about 10 minutes to actually think what I miss in the UK. And I was processing it. I was going through, I was listing, and all I could think of was no, no. And I was thinking about what other people would miss living in a different country if they were born and raised in the UK. I spent a bit more time internalizing, and I'd wrote down, I miss fish and chips. I'm laughing because I realised that I really am a foodie because I'm missing food. And it's not like the food in England is nice. English people can't cook. They're always like, yeah, we're having our Sunday roast. The Sunday roast is nasty. But when you add seasoning to it, like you season up the chicken, you don't buy gravy from a packet or a can, but you actually make the gravy. That's what makes Sunday roast nice. They don't have rice like we do on a Sunday. The rice and peas go to the Sunday roast. How can you not? Anyway, I'm kind of digressing. Fish and chips, battered fish, and then the chips are thick, and then you put your salt and the vinegar on it. And then I thought about the weather, and I was like, why would you miss the weather, Natalie? It wasn't until I went back to the UK in 2016 that I realised that I did miss the weather. In the UK, the air is crisper. It's not as thick. And I didn't notice that until I went back to the UK on a holiday. So when you're breathing, your lungs are more clearer. The air that's flowing through is very light. I like that feeling. When you're in Jamaica, it's hot. And whilst there is a breeze, when you're breathing, it's thick. So that's what I miss. And then the other piece that I wrote down was the snow. And I think the snow is more directed to memories. It's beautiful when it starts snowing. It lands on the ground and you're like, oh my God, it looks so pretty. The first night, you can see the sky. And even though it's night and dark, the snow brightens up the whole area because it's white. And it's just beautiful. When it snows, everything around you is quiet. Maybe because ain't nobody that crazy to be on the road driving, this blanket of snow gives this blanket of quietness. You're inside with the heating on and you have your cup of tea and stuff like that. It's very cozy. It's a really beautiful feeling and memory. Let's be very clear. Yeah, you're warm in the house, and the minute you walk outside, it's freezing cold. As soon as the snow melts, it turns into black ice. So you drop on the side when you're trying to get to the car, or you see people walking past and they're sliding down the pavement. When you're in the car, you're driving and you're skidding to the left. So even though I might like the snow and I miss the snow and those memories, yeah, I don't miss the after effects of the snow. I don't need to be locked up in my house because it's too cold. I want to be out on the road. I want the windows open. I don't need to be going outside and knowing that I've got to put on my socks, tights, boots, jeans, jumper, scarf, gloves. Yeah, that's not the life that I need to be living. Okay. That's probably what I miss the most. Fish and chips, foodie, the snow, and just the air. It's much thinner. I don't miss it enough to move back to the UK. If you want to get to know why I decided to move to Jamaica, there's 2 videos, part 1 and part 2 story about why I moved to Jamaica. It's linked in the description below. This is the first video that I created. It talks about a few reasons as to why I moved. And then this other video, which talks about another reason why I moved to Jamaica. And it's all around embracing my Jamaican culture. You know, being born and raised in the UK and not knowing until you're 25 years old that your parents are Jamaican, that can mess somebody up, man. And it kind of did. But then when I found out that my parents are Jamaican, everything made sense. And then when I came to visit Jamaica for my 25th birthday, I was like, oh my gosh, everything makes sense.